Alright, cunts, welcome back to, what is it? Cute Bots artwod workout, right? I'm learning hinges as per the, what's it called? Like how hinges function as per the workout. But artwod actually has, or is going to, in the past tense, had, but right now it still exists, but they're getting rid of it, a mech design course. So I decided, or not decided, but I realized that this Cute Bots workout, while nice, isn't enough. So I decided to look into their mech workout or mech course that they actually had, like a full-on mech course, right? And what's his name? Jonas Minibo. He's an incredible mech designer, and he basically pointed out that, and he made it a lot simpler. I feel as if he made it a lot simpler than the instructional by the person that they had for the Cute Bots workout into how a hinge works, right? And I'll do my best to not fuck it up in terms of an explanation, right? But it's basically a cylindrical object, and I feel as if this is a much better way of explaining it than the example provided, to be honest, because it simplifies it even further. The example provided in the Cute Bots workout isn't simple enough, and we all know that simplicity is how we learn, right? We don't learn by having a complex um, subject matter thrown at us. We learn by having something simple be presented in a way that's understandable, or something complex that's presented in a way that's simple and understandable. But it's basically just, we have this and we have two objects connected to it, and this is essentially the range of motion, right? And the main thing that he said, which really stuck out to me, and I felt it feels like an aha moment to me, is just about figuring out how you want to connect these two things. So it can be literally be something like, right? It can be something like this. And that's a hinge. Let's just say this is a hinge. Right, it can be something like that, and then on this side we have something like that, right? Oh, well, I guess I should finish it. But basically, the little sort of aha moment that I've had with how he's explained it, Jonas versus the person that explains it in Artwad's Cute Bots workout, is the fact that it's just about two things attached to the cylindrical thing, and you're just figuring out, and one big thing is just figuring out how they connect. So this is still a hinge, right? And this still is being turned this way. And obviously the example I'm throwing about here is pretty shoddy compared to whatever example he had thrown about. But that makes a lot more sense to me now, right? Where it's just like, oh, okay, it's just about, they can connect vertically, it can connect horizontally, and obviously like we should have something like that, right? Connecting from the bottom of this onward, right? So it should obviously be something that's like clawing, connecting from the top and the side. But here, like at the end of the day, it's still connected on both sides and it's still rotating, right? Here's my very beginner rough understanding and showcasing application of it. But it makes a lot of sense, right? And that's one axis. Another thing, another key word that he said, which actually felt like it clicked a lot more to me, is that it's rotated on one axis. So let's write that down. This is one axis, right? I'm going to use the rest of this page to explain to myself how it works, right? And then there's two axes, which are two axes or axes, I don't know. But I don't know, I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon, because after I'm done explaining this, we're getting a new piece of paper, and I'm just going to fucking, like I said before, start drawing, or like I have like 4 or 5 lever or hinge references on Pinterest, and I'm just going to copy the fuck out of them and memorize the fuck out of them. And we're going to use those mannequins as the baseline for creating my hinge designs, right? So it's actually going to be a great way to improve my visual library, as well as the shapes I use when it comes to creating these things. So 2 axis is, again, what did he do? He went like this, right? So we have the one hinge, right? Oh, and then we have this. We have another cylinder, and it's basically again, we have one item right here that's attached to it, right? One, let's just say box. it's clearly fucking it's off center, but it's attached to this, and then this one again, same thing, right? It's attached. And the main thing is, I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, it's that this is still going along this axis, right? But now we have something that's going along, what is it, this axis as well. So I believe it's something like this, right? Is that how he explained it? Fuck, I don't remember anymore. Is that how he explained it? Right? I believe. But that, even just practicing that makes a lot more sense to me. If we just do one axis, right? Like, that makes a lot more sense. So if I were to really think about it, right? If I were to really think about it, even something like this, it actually eases up the understanding in terms of, okay, well, I just need and again, I'm sure what I'm drawing right now is not going to be the most incredible, but it does, I feel like, make things a lot easier in terms of figuring out exactly how these shapes intersect with one another, right? I'm just trying to think right now. So we could have something like that. Obviously, this should have been following the perspective. Right, that can be that one part. It doesn't even make that much sense, but one part of the handle, and then this thing is another thing, right? Where it's also another shape that's sort of wrapping around. And it could come through here, right? It's like, okay. Okay, see, now it's still a hinge, right? At the end of the day, but okay, that's maybe that's not the best example. But let me actually just draw this so I understand it better, right? Maybe we could just do something super simple like this. It's obviously, again, Jonas says this one thing where he's like, just focus on simplicity, bro. Don't try to make it too complex. And I think that's exactly the message that I should heed, is don't try to make it too complex, right? This is kind of the examples that he uses roughly to showcase that, hey, it's still a very simple hinge. Right, so that could be one part of it, and then this one could be right. That's a shape. It's attached here. Fuck that up a little bit. Jesus, I'm fucking it up consistently. I'm so bad at explaining right now. But again, it just goes to show, if you don't understand, then you can't really explain, right? Like, that's another hinge, So like, it's attached at 2 points, but at the end of the day, they're still rotating, right? They're still rotating on one axis, like that. So that's how I understand it. Okay, well, I don't know why I'm in a rush. I genuinely don't know why the fuck I'm in a rush. I guess I just want to get this page over with, but there's no point in thinking like that. If we were to try again, even something like, right? Very simple. We're gonna keep it as simple as we can to illustrate the point that hopefully I was trying to make prior, but literally just something like this. And then oh wait, that's wrong. Is that wrong? Yeah, because this is the axis. Yeah, so okay, see, so that's wrong because it shouldn't be on top of the flat part of the cylinder, right? Actually, well, technically it could still be right if I did something like this. There you go. If I did something like that, right, then it's like, okay, that's still correct. And then we could have something like that going around this. Right. See, they make it look very easy, and they're like, oh, just add these simple shapes. But even now that I've understood the concept of, okay, it's just how are these two boxes, which is these two things, attached and creating, like, this is technically one box and this is another. But again, the shapes have to be compelling and interesting, right? But this is just me rushing because I just want to get to the next page. I'll be completely honest about that, right? I'm not thinking, I'm offsetting any sort of thinking I need to do for the next page. So let me rest my brain, and actually we'll get to legitimate learning and drawing, which is what we're here for. So give me 5-10 seconds. Okay, cool. Get rid of this fucking page because clearly I haven't learned anything. Well, I've explained, so let's not say it's not learning, but we need to slow down, right? So I'm gonna draw this reference. I'm gonna try to understand the reference as I draw it, right? I'm gonna draw in a different angle than it is provided in, and then I'm gonna memorize it. So we're gonna go nice and slow, right? We're gonna go very nice and slow. Oh yeah, draw along. I think I forgot to say that. Draw along. Right? Oh shit, I should have moved this down a little bit. But let's see. So it is... I just need to think about how this is... Okay, so it's... that... and then it... oh, okay. See, this way I'm also learning about new shapes, right? Like genuinely new shapes that are going to be... oh, I fucked that up. I drew that incorrectly. But hey, it's okay because this is it's just it's just a test run, right? And then this is the main shape, which is following this. See, it's all around a hinge, right? This is one box, this is the other box. And it's going up. For me, right now, the main thing is just to memorize the shape, right? Just understand the shape that I'm drawing. And obviously I should have made that a lot thinner because... there you go, maybe something like that. And oof, what does that look like? Oh, okay, it's just shaped like that. I'm just trying to figure this out. Perspective here is horrible. Fuck that up. I do understand what's going on now, but obviously it is... This is the shape apparently, and then we have a cylinder up here. Okay, I do understand what's going on now. And when I memorize this, I'm going to do this a lot better, obviously. And we're just going to assume it's something like that. Pretty weird looking, but this is the shapes. These are the shapes that are brought about, right? See, something like that. And then we can just connect that. So the whole point of this is to understand how different shapes can be made to create a hinge, right? That's what I'm getting out of this. So that's the main point for me is how do these different shapes create... See, like, what the fuck happens after this? Okay, well, that was actually incorrect. This is correct. This is more like it goes down and then it connects like so here. And then it comes down like that. Same thing. For me right now, clearly I don't really understand. Oh, and then the same pattern is used up there. So, and again, I'm drawing this in a different perspective, so it's interesting to think about it like that. But that's basically it, right? Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, and then there's a cylinder that's attached to this, but ew, trying to figure that shit out. Okay. That was a good first attempt, considering I didn't know what I was drawing. Now this is the best part. We're gonna break it down. Before we draw it from memory, we're literally gonna break down this hinge, right? Because what is the point of just copying something complex? Fuck, keep dropping this damn pen. There isn't a point to copying something complex if we don't understand how it operates, especially when it comes to something like a hinge, right? So this is the best part. This right here, this is the cylinder, right? This is the cylinder that everything is based off of, right? And this is basically its axis of rotation, right? That much I can understand. Now the only thing, really, is just about complicated shapes surrounding that cylinder, clearly. So if we break it down again, there's really only 3 components to this, right? And again, I know these shapes don't look that simple, but they're simple at my level in the sense that the complexity is something I can deal with, right? So what is this really? This is just, right, it goes around. It's something like this. And it's just wrapping around before it comes underneath, right? And obviously, again, I know I'm not drawing it as perfectly as it needs to be or whatever, but okay, I clearly let me do that again. And this is where I'm going to slow down now. I'm going to really slow down, because if I don't understand it while drawing it fast, I clearly need to slow down. It's something like this. Right, this is basically the shape. And this is how we can really try to understand it. Right? And then it curves. That's basically an ellipse. Right? Same thing on the other side. It comes down. And there you go. right? And that's what the cylinder, this right here is what the cylinder attaches through. Now it doesn't end there, because the bottom of this and the top of this is the same thing. It's this pattern. Now this is literally just contour manipulation, right? So if I were to put it into perspective, it'd be something like this. Right? Same shit, watch. Boom. There you go. So obviously breaking it down helps a lot, right? And what this shape is, and again, like this is attached to this at the bottom, right? So that's why it's a lot narrower, and I need to be aware of that. And it's just a cylinder for both. Look, so actually now when I look at it, there's so much fucking repetition. This repeats twice, right? Once at the top, and over here I forgot to add it, but once at the bottom, right? So what this is again just, if this is the, let's draw the cylinder, right? Let's draw the cylinder so we have an understanding. This is good. This is good. We're gonna break this shape the fuck down so we understand it better and we learn it faster. Doesn't mean we learn it fast, but we learn it faster. Right? If that's the cylinder that these two boxes, or very, very manipulated shapes, which all derive from a box, or just multitude of boxes, but the point is, you know, it's just two things attached to this that are going along that axis, right? What this one is, if I were to look at it and I were to try to recall, it's just, let me think, is it like this? Yeah, it's just something like this, right? And then it's this right here, so it's literally, but then it goes up to, okay, so it's, okay, I see what it is now. So it is this. If we keep it in perspective, right, it's just this, I believe. Right, and that's, the question is, what the fuck is this? Why does that end up like that? let me just look at the side. I don't know if the reference will have the side perfectly, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense actually. It still completely works out, but it's just like that. There you go. There you go, see? So I guess that needs to be further out. There you go. There you, something like that. So, but that's the shape. Oh, and then there's a cylinder on top, as we've established. So now that we know that, we can just cover all this shit up and try to draw it from memory, can't we? Now that we know what it's comprised of, what is stopping us from drawing it from memory? Obviously, I'll do my best not to look at this, but that's not a bad way to go about it. Let me do it from an angle that's gonna be difficult too. Let me do it from the back angle actually. Right, make it upside down for shits. And now I'm not saying this is gonna be easy whatsoever, by the way. I'm just saying that we should, given that we take our time, be able to understand exactly what we're creating now. Even if what we're creating is still going to be difficult, don't get me wrong, it's still going to be very difficult to get down. The point is that we should be able to understand it a lot more now, right? Because we've gone through all the effort of breaking it down, right? And it's not about getting it perfectly, but now we literally have created a visual library for ourselves, right? We've literally created a visual library for ourselves in which we can essentially draw on these wrappings, these shapes, and so on, right? Something like that. Obviously, like, there will always be issues. This is obviously something that needs to come across like that. And then it wraps around like so. Don't get me wrong, I know there's always going to be things that need work. And I'm trying to think about this in as multiple perspectives as I can. But even getting something like this, there you go. See, the thing is, this shape is actually pretty decently complicated, right? I could not have done this fucking a year ago, let alone half a year ago, right? But here I am. Doing it right now. Why? Because I have put in a decent amount of time understanding the manipulations that are occurring, right? Or just drawing lots of different types of manipulations. Now, same thing here. It's we can do something like, what is this going to be like? It's going to be like this. And again, it doesn't have to be one-to-one to the reference, but it would help understanding what the reference is, right? There you go. That's just my first attempt at it, right? But the thing is, I didn't look at any of this, and I already, because I understand how it wraps around, and there you go. Again, the axis of rotation, that's what Jonas says, right, is this. Oh, what the fuck? Oh yeah, that's correct. Trip myself out with my own arrow. And again, the same, it's literally just this. It's just, if we use, again, the cylinder as an example, what's actually just happening is just, we have something like that, wrapping this way, right, following the rules of perspective, are obviously wrapping around as well, right? And then we have something else that's essentially also doing that, but now it's embedded in here, right? So it's also just wrapping itself around while also kind of giving itself an interesting shape while being at it, right? That's basically it. All this extra stuff is just quote-unquote design, which I don't know why I quote-unquote that, but it's design. It's just like interesting little additions and combinations, but these are obviously horrible. They're not like perfect or whatever, but now I'm going to keep practicing this till I get it down, right? I'm just going to keep practicing it and keep looking at the reference and then keep drawing it from memory and rotating it, and boom, I'll have gotten a pretty unique hinge design, right, out of it, and then I can start manipulating on top of this. I can start making it look more complex because I understand now generally what it's comprised of. And again, I'm going to keep looking at the reference and we're going to try to get it as one-to-one as possible, right? But anyways, let me rest my brain. And the thing is, like, one thing I've realized is with stuff like this, it can even go further, right? Where you can have, it's like, okay, this is one hinge, but then what if you wanted to do like 2-axis hinge, right? You could literally just add something like this, and then start putting stuff around that, right? And it's like, okay, boom, now we have 2-axis hinge, right? It's like, okay, now this also is something that is a hinge, and now this is going, like, this is going this way, right? This is this axis of rotation, and this one's going like this. Again, I'm not drawing anything particularly impressive, but I'm just trying to get that idea across for myself as well as for anybody who is looking, where it's like, oh, okay, now we have a 2-axis hinge, right? Boom. You know, now we have this fucking cylinder coming out of here. It's like, oh shit, right? And that, and this could literally just be replicated over here, right? Like so, you know. And turns out we have 2 fucking cylinders attached, right? So now these, and now this changes in. This is just the axis of rotation, because now if they're both attached, it's both like this, right? So it's crazy. There's like, they're both like this, right, over here, but then this can be attached, and then so this giant shape, because we attach this together, can be something like this, and then whatever's coming out here is something like that as well. So honestly, it can go pretty fucking deep in terms of how you attach them, but we're not gonna go that far. I definitely am not gonna go that far because I'm not quote unquote worthy. Right? I haven't fucking memorized this properly. But let's do this again. Let's keep doing this again, right? Oof, this is good. It hurts the brain too, which is what's more than necessary. But I'm gonna try to get this shape down first, this one, and we're gonna draw it a bit larger to genuinely understand what it is that we're drawing, right? So we have the cylinder, and I like this. I like this because it forces me to think, right? Something like that. And again, I'm like thinking about the box while I'm drawing this as well. Right, and then where do we go? Oh, okay. So I see the difference now. The big change that I did not account for was this. Right, and if I zoom in, okay, I see now. It should account for this. Yeah, there you go. It's something like this. Right? Same thing here. So this is actually the shape. And obviously I'm going to do that a little bit more. Same thing. Right? That's kind of what it looks like now. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. And now what is this actual shape? Right? Well, let's see. It's still a bit complex, I'm not going to lie. Something like that. And then we have, and then it goes down like so. Actually, I might have made this, no, I made this appropriately sized actually. So now it just comes down to me being able to, there you go, that's what it's like, right? And we can just say that this is the cylinder, right, this is the cylinder. It's a fucking, like, again, I made it way too fucking big. But it just wraps around that, like so. Right, and same thing here. So obviously I need to make it a lot smaller, to be honest. Right? It needs to be, I don't know why I still have this here. It needs to be around this size. So why don't we try that again? And rotate it in my mind. Let's just cover this up, because now this is the right one, right? So let's try that again, and I'll turn the screen off. And there you go. Let's have the cylinder that it's wrapped around, right? There you go. This is the size that we're gonna go with. So that means I need to have a good understanding of size, right? So it needs to be, it's a hard balance, because you want your lines to be clean, you want everything to be articulated well, but at the same time you also want there to be enough you also don't want to take up too much. I personally, let me rephrase that. I don't want to take up too much space. Wait. Yeah, there you go. right? Something like that. And then what happens here now? Yeah, what happens after this? Oh, it's just this. But here's what I'm gonna assume. Yeah, it's like that, right? I'm just gonna assume that, there you go, goes around. There you go. Is that accurate? Pretty accurate, but this needs to be more of an obvious plane change. Like this one right here, it needs to be like this, right? I want to emphasize it. So what that means is, if I look at the reference again, it is a lot longer. Yeah, okay, so this is a lot longer. This goes down like so. There you go. Because these are about even in length. Okay, that's pretty good. So let's draw that again, and then we're gonna draw the other side, and then this is gonna be a hinge that we'll just have internalized. Right, this is design, my friends. This is how I believe I'm doing a pretty decent job at actually internalizing these designs, right? So let's do that again, and let's do it from an angle that's difficult, right? We don't want to keep making things easy for us. So we'll do something like this, right? If only old Viggy could see me now with how clean these lines have become. They're nothing amazing, but holy shit, bro. Years of drawing like this as my lines, right? Years. So I'm proud of myself. Let's see. Hold up. If that's going like this. It's the same shit here, no? Oh wait, it should have been longer. That's on me. We'll keep doing it. But again, what does that even look like? Interesting. It would just be like this? No. I clearly don't understand the shape as well as I thought I do. But we gotta get that manipulation down, right? But if anything, I should just keep drawing this shape over and over and over until I get it down, right? Drawing it from different angles and stuff. Let's try that again. So it's attached like so. I'm making it too big. I think this is okay. Most important thing for me is to also think about the perspective. Right. There you go. These little details seem to make a difference when it comes to how it operates, I guess. Yeah, we have this going down, and then it's like boom. Right. The question is, how tightly woven is it? Pretty fucking tightly woven. It's literally like this. Right. And funny enough, this is also a hinge. But obviously, I like the definition that Jonas gave, which is two things attached, and that's what creates the leverage, right? So Okay, we're gonna just keep drawing this over and over and over until we get it down. I'm gonna start again. Well, let me see what the other shape is like before we continue. So the other one is like this, right? Where it's, if this is, well, I guess let me just do it with the green again, because that really helps me understand it better. Okay, it's been 40 minutes already, Jesus. Okay, this is amazing. We can literally spend 5 hours understanding this hinge, and then we can spend, it'll be like, so it'll be like 30 hours total in creating new hinges designed to practice and to internalize. And after that, I can just mix and match and just obviously adjust them based on whatever general changes I want to make. Not that these are the end all be all for hinges, right? But right now, it's just, this is just the beginning. We have to just starting to get an understanding down, right? And if I look at the reference, it's something like this, right? Where it comes down. And this is actually the interesting part where I gotta keep that in mind, is it's going inward and then coming in, right? There you go. And it's the complete opposite, where now this is what it's like. So if I were to extrapolate that, and again, there is it's important to think about the perspective, because that's literally all I have. It comes to this, right? Same thing, because no, wait, that's incorrect. I actually did this wrong. It's supposed to be like this, right? Oh, yeah. But I guess for the sake of me not fucking up the perspective, something like that. Even though that is incorrect. Something like that. There you go. And then what happens? If it's the same shit as this, if it's the same fucking shit as this, then it should be something like, operative word being should, but it should really be something like this, right? This is the hinge that it operates as. Does that make any sense? I don't think that makes any sense. This is the hinge it operates as? Genius. Wait, this was incorrect, because it goes around. There you go. There you go. I was wondering why this was so thin. Right. And something like this. Like that? Is that what it is? Same thing here. I don't know. That one's a bit difficult. And also it's incorrect, because this actually is way lower. There you go. That's good. Okay, so this shape I clearly don't understand as well as I thought I did either, which is amazing. So let me rest my brain. Oh yeah, we have like bare hours. We can really focus on trying to understand this. That's great. And this is just one hinge, guys. This is just one hinge I found on Pinterest. If you just, what is this called? What name did they give it? Joint 2. It's called Joint 2. So yeah. And it looks simple, right? It looks so simple. You're like, it's just a fucking hinge. It's like nothing. But then you realize that there's so much going on with these manipulations and the way they attach to each other. And it's like, oh, so if I can internalize this, there's a lot more I can think about when it comes to just how hinges can be shaped in general, right? There's a lot that can be done once this is internalized. This is a hinge mannequin, if it were, right? But let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Okay, amazing. Now we're gonna draw this from memory because we're gonna test ourselves, right? Obviously, I can't sticky note the entire fucking page, so I'm just gonna do my best not to look at it, right? But here's how I'm gonna start, right? I'm gonna start right here. This way, we're setting the size of it all, and honestly, it doesn't even matter if I look at it or not because let's see. Right, and then it goes inwards. And again, it's not about getting it perfect, even though I know I already know that's wrong, right? I already know that's incorrect. But it's just about having an understanding, right? Do I understand what I am trying to draw? You know, and a lot of times the answer can be literally absolutely fucking not. This guy doesn't know shit. But until I actually put that into practice, it's all a fraud. Am I right? It is all a fraud. So I've already fucked this up. And that's amazing. That's genuinely so good. Because it's extremely difficult. Right? And now what the fuck is this shape? I literally already forgot this shape. Nope, I didn't because it's simple. It's deceptively simple. Right? There you go. Oh, well, that's incorrect, but there you go. Right? And, okay, see, like, the perspective's already completely fucked. But this is how we learn. Right? Perspective's already completely fucked. But this is great. Like, this is actually amazing because this is how my brain learns. This is how all of our brains learn, right? Is again, and the thing is, like, it's seemingly it can be easy, but genuinely it's extremely difficult. And maybe like that's what it's like here. And again, we have to think about the perspective, right? But you see how just me trying to memorize this, it already looks like a hinge, right? Even though the perspective is off, it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be going this way, right? Like, I fucked up the perspective so badly. But the thing is, this could exist. There literally could be a hinge where it's like this, and then diagonally it's cut across. So this already looks more like a hinge than anything else I've done, you know? And why? Because it's a real life hinge. It's based on real life, right? And we can't discount the importance of actually utilizing real life as a reference, you know? So something like that. And then this just connects there. See, it's all over the place. But it is a real life hinge. Oh, well, I fucked this up. And I forgot this as well over here. Right? But there you go. It already looks pretty legit in terms of something that exists, right? Now I'm just gonna draw this again and again from memory. I think that's the main thing, because I know what it is that needs to be done now, right? We know what it is that is working and what isn't. So it's just a matter of fact of making sure that it is consistent with our internal locus, right? So we could try again like so. And again, I need to continue because I haven't done that at all this session. We need to think about it from a different perspective as we're drawing it, which is incredibly difficult, but hey, so is everything, so. Right. something like that. We can, that's also way off, but it's okay. And again, we just got to keep thinking about this from a different perspective as we draw it, right? Okay, that's off too. That's completely off. Yeah, that's pretty fucking off. This is beautiful. Like, it actually makes me feel so good because I just know that as consistent as I can just keep, because this is the perspective and this is how off it is, right? We can just keep fucking doing this. This is amazing. I'm just gonna keep practicing this from memory because obviously I relatively know what the shapes are now, right? So again, this could clearly be a diagonal hinge, right? But the main issues right now obviously are, and again, like this kind of fucks with everything, so we just gotta really think it through. If I look at the reference, okay, I see. Okay, so that's not too bad. Right? Something like that. And then the lines need to be more accurate, the drawings need to be more accurate. And I can just spam this now. We can literally spam this hinge and just keep trying to draw it from memory. Literally, because it's actually pretty simple when you think about it, right? It's not too complex. I'm actually making it way more complex than it needs to be in some cases, right? But let's just think about this. So like that. It's just wrong on all accounts. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Not whatever in the sense that I'm past it, but it's like we'll just move on. But yeah, I'm actually making it a bit too complicated. This is actually very much more appropriate, right? In terms of how simple it is. Because this shape right here is just like that. I don't know why I'm trying to curve it in, but this is all that's happening here, right? And then it's like this, right? And then that's where this comes into play because it's like that. It's the same thing, right? Something like that. Same thing on the other side, right? There you go. But that's all. Okay, and then obviously the fucking cylinder, but it's way simpler than I'm making it seem. It needs to be larger in some areas, smaller. Like I am still working this shape out, but that's all it is, right? And then it's just wrapped around the cylinder like so, right? That's all this is. It's a complex shape, don't get me wrong, but I don't need to make it more difficult than it already is, right? If anything, the main thing that needs to be done is just these ratios over here, because this is thick, right? So this, it needs to be, you see the difference between these two? Right? And then it's just ba-bam. And let's see, that's the same shit on that side, right? Same shit here. There you go, right? And then this is a lot better because the cylinder on top that's attached is just evenly attached. But that's how it needs to be, right? And that's how. And again, it's not too hard of a shape to understand. I think the main thing that I'm lacking is proportions, right? We get proportions down, then it should be pretty simple. But in this shape, obviously, like to think more about this shape would be good to put it into practice, right? To actually genuinely think about how it would be on all sides, right? Having it in a box is very helpful. There you go. See, already. There you go. Even if that isn't super accurate, boom. There's our shape. Something surrounded by the cylinder, right? And I have to look at, okay, because then the ellipse here, the cylinder is just a bit smaller. But I think the lines need to be a lot cleaner, right? It's been 57 minutes. The lines need to be a lot cleaner. So again, if we have something like this, and I think the biggest thing is obviously perspective needs to be accurate, right? Something like that. Boom. And then on the other side, like that. Right. There you go. That's literally what it is. And then if we were to just do it, be something like this, and then like that, right? And on the opposite side, it's just going down, seemingly, actually. Yeah, it's just going down. But again, this is too drastic. It's really just not even. It's like that. Wait, that's even too much. That's seemingly what it looks like, right? And then it's this thing. And then this is the cylinder that it's attached to. Here's our, what would this even be called? An axle, right? Just the fucking point of rotation, right? The cylinder of rotation, the central cylinder, right? The central cylindrical shape in which it, what's it called? What is this called again? One axis rotation? Two axis? Yeah, like the axis that it rotates on, right? What other ways can you even describe that? I think that's the main way. This was a really good session. I might even draw 1 more hour today because I actually don't even have to eat because I'm fasting, so I might even be able to get that extra hour. But I want to next time really take my time because this was me like ideating. Maybe this is like my fast-paced drawing, right? But well, actually it's been just about an hour. Why don't I rest my brain and just really take my time and just draw the shape and really think it through? All right, that should be good. All right, I have to cough, just a heads up. Okay, there you go. Just a warning, so you guys aren't like, exactly how I would react if I heard an unwarranted cough. And you're all like me, I'm sure. So let's do this. Let's visualize it to the best of our ability. And let's get this done. This is a pretty fucking sick hinge to internalize, right? And I can already start designing shit around just this one hinge. Right. Right? Voice crack, right? So, but I do want my lines to be very nuanced. Very nuanced. I guess I could explain what I mean by that. I want my lines to be very small, very accurate, and showcase the nuance without losing the perspective. That's what I mean. Hope that makes it a bit more clear. But I will be honest, I haven't really been thinking about the perspective as much as I should this entire time. And I guess it's but it goes to show how decently I can draw now without needing to always think about the perspective. But hey, that is never what I want, right? So I'll just keep working on it. There you go. Like that. And then this one. Something like that. Right? There you go. So obviously, like I'm so zoomed in on this, but I need to think further beyond this, right? There you go. And we should stop right here because obviously there's a bunch of other stuff happening. And I'm trying to do this by memory, of course, which we should account for. This is where we start thinking about functionality too, which is great because now I can already understand how this shape works, right? There you go. And let me just something like that, right? This is actually pretty accurate to how it actually is, right? Not bad. I'm not doing a bad job at all. I'll be completely honest, apart from this cylinder being too small and off center, right? Because I didn't center the alternative shapes around it properly. Not bad at all. Genuinely not bad at all. There you go. I just need to think about how this shape reacts. Is it like this? Yeah, maybe. There you go. Still trying to figure out what the back of this should look like. But I think it's literally just like that, right? I mean, it's hard to understand exactly what I'm doing anymore, but I'll obviously practice this shape a lot more. I don't know why I looked at it, because that's cheating, but either way, it's okay. I have basically memorized this pretty decently, right? But again, perspective. And this thing actually should be going straight down. It shouldn't be angled like this. But hey, I can still draw in perspective regardless that was a bad line, if it needs to be angled or not. And this should have been much bigger. I mean, a lot of proportions are still off as I continue to recollect exactly how this should be, but not bad, right? Not bad at all. Hold up. What the fuck? So what does this look like? I'm trying to think. So shouldn't it just be like this? And this one is... Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like that. Right? No, wait. Or is it like that? I don't know. I messed that up there. And again, we can literally just start to make this look more complicated. It's like, oh, okay. ta-da, just by adding this, right? Maybe adding one of those. We can even do a little bit of multiple rounding, I guess. Right? It's like, oh, this is a much more complicated hinge than we initially presumed. Right? And this is just how I can ideate. This is literally how I can start ideating, right? Boom, just do stuff like that, right? It's like, okay, this is now, yeah, just slightly more complicated, you know? We add that, we do something like this, we bring this through so we can see it on the other side, right? And it's like, oh, okay, there's a lot more going on here than we realized. Ta-da-da! Right? We went from this to this. And you can see my memory drawing is much better than my reference drawing now, right? Still nothing amazing, but there you go, right? There you go. That was really good. That was really fun. I definitely challenged the fuck out of myself, and I'm glad I learned a lot about these specific shapes interlocking with the cylindrical axis of rotation, right? This is just one axis, and again, to understand exactly what's happening, right? This is the axis of rotation, right? This right here. This is how it's rotating, right? That's the axis of rotation. Maybe I could have done that a bit better, but that perspective might be a bit off. But that's how it's rotating, right? And then the other hinge would be something like this, and then I believe we would need something going this way. But hey, I have that video saved now because I don't want that fucking mech course to go away. So I'm gonna, like, I saved that video. Like I have like snippets and screenshots of the most important bits of information. But yeah, amazing. Learning how to draw mech joints, right? Watch me spam this shit for the next 6 months to a year. Who knows? I always overestimate how long it takes, and in general, I seem to overestimate how long it'll take for me to learn something, but this was really good. I'm gonna keep practicing this. We're gonna keep getting this one down, right? This specific hinge joint down. But now that we can essentially do it from memory, to be honest, like we can literally do it from memory because we broke it down. Yeah, I'm gonna keep getting the proportions down. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I'll practice this a bunch more, and I'll start ideating off of this based on memory drawings, like trying to get it in a bunch of different angles. But I'll probably try to get this from memory in as many angles as possible before I continue, because I think that's very important, right? And again, like, dude, this session I barely thought about it from a different angle because I was already trying to think about the design. But that's why I'm gonna come back, hopefully, in a couple hours from now, and maybe I'll be able to draw one more hour and really think about it that way, right? Really push my brain. I don't know if I pushed my brain as much as I wanted to this round, so yeah. Anyways, I hope you all had fun. I hope you all had a good time pushing yourselves, right? At the end of the day, the effort and the errors are all that matter, and I definitely put a decent amount of effort, and I definitely made a fuck ton of mistakes. So with that being said, hope you had fun. As always, fuck you for... Fuck, what the fuck? Why am I thumbsing you up? Fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money, thank you.